So property insurance, homeowners insurance, going through the roof? Well, actually, yes. Let's talk about it next. Hey everybody, Dave Edwards, Treasure Valley Dave here. You know, you're a great real estate agent by your side when it comes time to buy a home, sell a home, or even relocate right here to the Treasure Valley. And what's one of the reasons that you might want to relocate? Well, maybe your homeowner's insurance is going to be just a little bit too much where you're living now. So this is kind of like a follow-up to our recent video that we talked about strategic relocation. So I just got this article in my email box today from Realtor.com, and they're looking at how much home insurance rates have risen in every state. Well, every state except for Wyoming. Home insurance costs have been steadily rising across the country for the past few years as climate risks increase following a spat of natural disasters. Okay, a couple things. One is that climate risk, that comes from their climate change, which used to be global warming, and then that got proven wrong. Global cooling, that got proven wrong. So they just go climate change. And then apparently climate change only leads to climate risk, not climate benefits. I don't see the insurance companies giving you money back, right? So it has to be a risk. There must be something in it for them. And there certainly is. Higher premiums. Just in 2023 alone, nationwide, home insurance rates have gone up 11.3%. But they also went up over the last 5 years, 33.8% on a nationwide national average. So let's take a look at what Benjamin Collier here says. And he's an expert. And we know the trajectory of climate risk. He said, as we expect the risk to go up, the cost of insurance have to go up over the next couple of decades. How inconvenient. So nearly half of all U.S. homes are at risk of severe or extreme damage from environmental threats, affecting nearly $22 trillion in real estate. Well, that certainly sounds like a lot. Okay, can we take a sidebar here? And so these environmental threats, what are they? Apparently they come from climate change, right? Well, this story also links over to this other story by Realtor.com talking about climate risk threat nearly half of all the homes in the United States. So this guy, he was frightened because of a fast-moving wildfire in the suburbs of San Francisco. So yeah, of course that's frightening, absolutely. But is this from climate change? Global warming, global cooling, one of those things? Well, you know what? Anybody that survived through the Camp Fire and these other fires in California, they know that, well, here, let's just do a Google search. How many fires have been caused by PG&E? That's the power company there in California. All told, PG&E has been blamed for more than 30 wildfires since 2017 that's wiped out more than 23,000 homes and businesses and killed more than 100 people. That's not climate, that's PG&E. Moving down a little bit further, we talk about Texas. We're battling the largest wildfire in the state's history. 44.8% are at risk for severe or extreme damage from environmental threats. Climate is a big risk. Okay, let's go back to this Texas thing. Smokehouse Creek fire. Apparently it was because power lines from their power company. That doesn't sound like climate change, does it? Not at all. But they also say that even properties that aren't directly affected by climate risk are being affected by higher insurance premiums. Well, that sounds kind of funny. It's like your rates are going up even though that you've done everything right. You've taken care of your property. You've cut the grass back from your house. And but still, nonetheless, your rates are going to be going up. So back to this article, how much have your premiums risen? California is up 43.7, Oregon 44. Now even Idaho has gone up 29.6, which is still under the national average quite a bit, but nonetheless, it's still too much. But it's very much on par with, say, Kansas and Missouri and Arkansas and even Tennessee. But look at Texas, almost 60%. The rates have gone up. That seems like quite a bit, don't you think? But is it from climate change? So the people that are the government, why doesn't the government do something about it? Well, you know what the government did do about it? Let's find out. Climate activists invest in property near beaches they say are disappearing. So John Kerry, stand in for Mr. Ed back in the younger days. Oh, he lives on the ocean. Bill and Melinda Gates, they live, on the ocean. Oh, what a beautiful view they have of the ocean. A friend of the Obamas bought the old Magnum PI house. Where? On the ocean. And even Barack Obama, remember him? They bought this house in Martha's Vineyards. Where? On the ocean. Do you think they're all that worried about? Oh, there's Al Gore's place. Where does he live? Mr. Well, we have a lot of names for him. He lives by the ocean. So that's pretty wild. So why all this fuss about the climate change increasing the ocean levels? Well, this is interesting. I thought you might find it interesting too. With the exception of 38 miles in Washington State, the entire West Coast is blue. And I don't mean sad. I mean, it's Democrats. They're Democrat stronghold all the way from the tip by Canada down to the tip by Mexico, except for that little 38 miles right there. And so what better constituency to get whipped up with fake science and scaremongering than your base, because they're one, going to donate to you, two, they're going to vote for you over and over again, and then make all these other people the bad guy. So of course, that makes perfect sense. You're not going to have a natural disaster that the government's going to get all concerned about in red places, because you know what? They're going to say, that doesn't make sense. We use our heads up here in Idaho. So why are some of the insurance rates so much higher in some of these western states where we don't have the risk of being flooded out by the ocean going up? Well, it's because so much of our land in these western states are owned by the federal government. I mean, check this out. Idaho, over 50% of the land is owned by the federal government. Nevada, 84.5%. Oh my gosh. California, almost half. And so what's the thing about the federal government when it comes to managing, well, anything? They do a really poor job most of the time. And it's the same with how they treat their the wooded areas, the grasslands, the forest. You can't have a forest fire or a grass fire without, mismanaged lands. And in this case, mostly owned by the federal government. And they don't care. And well, maybe they do care. They care that it does burn so that they have more reason to, create this whole fiction of climate change destroying the entire planet. Could that be? But there is one thing that is not hype, and that was going to be our tornadoes. And now tornadoes have been in the news lately. They are very bad, and they are something that you should consider when it comes time to strategically think about where you want to move to. So we have over here in Kansas, 83 tornadoes, Nebraska, 48, and get down here to Texas, 136 tornadoes. And this is the average per year, taken over a period, a number of years. Idaho, we have an average of 4 tornadoes a year. And we don't have as many people here, and we don't have as many tornadoes here, so we don't have as much damage here. So our insurance premiums shouldn't be going up because of tornadoes here in Idaho. And California only has 9 tornadoes a year, and their premiums shouldn't be going up because of tornadoes either. It must be some other reason. Texas, on the other hand, yeah, they've got a tornado issue. But also down here in Florida, they have 57 tornadoes. But what about all the hurricanes that they get as well? And so one of the things, speaking of property insurance, homeowners insurance, is that they have all these homes and condos that are built right along the beach. The ocean has salt in it. Salt corrodes, the structure of some of these places. So condo HOAs are trying to do some retrofitting, and they're really raising the HOA fees. And insurance companies in Florida as well, they have to increase their rates because they have, damage that's been ongoing for many years. Plus, they also have tornadoes. Plus, they also have hurricanes. So I can understand why rates would be going up higher in Florida, in Texas, and also in some of these Midwest states because they do have tornadoes, which are pretty devastating. But there's really no reason for tornadoes to be the reason for higher property premiums, insurance premiums in Idaho and Washington, Oregon. It just doesn't make sense. But what does make sense is that the lands are very mismanaged as far as for wildfires, forest fires, grass fires in, apparently Oregon, apparently California, and even to some extent in Idaho. So because those are mismanaged and because the power companies literally get away with murder and nobody goes to jail. They don't pay anything because who actually pays the power company? Well, it's you. Your power rates go up. Did your power rates go up in California? I bet that they did. And now your insurance premiums are going to go up and still nothing's getting better. And still they blame it all on climate change. All these people in the flyover countries are driving their four-wheel drive pickups and causing all the misery to happen along the West Coast and the entire West Coast is occupied by Democrats who are going to get whipped up and vote just for the same people that are whipping them up. It's just amazing. So where do we end this? Well, property insurance is going up. Why? Well, I'll let you figure that out, but I don't think it's exactly what they're telling you it is. And California residents are issued dire warnings. California loses 2 more property insurance companies, blah, blah, blah. It's not getting any better. So I just want you to know about that. Consider that when it comes time to figure out where you want to escape to, and escape might be just the right word. So I've made the escape. Marines made the escape. We have plenty of very happy past clients that have made that escape as well from California, from those other blue areas, and have a great life, a great quality of life right up here in Idaho. Give us a call. We'll see you on the next video. Hey, thanks for stopping in and learning more about real estate in Nampa, Idaho and the Treasure Valley. If you'd like to learn more, watch this video here next or binge on this playlist. When it comes time to sell a home, buy a home, or even relocate to the Treasure Valley, your Treasure Valley Dave team is your real estate expert by your side, helping you get home.